What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. You can never force nobody else to wear them.
I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubt that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out, and I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubt that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. We're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back up. Yes, I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Good evening. Hope everyone is well. What was I doing? There was something I was doing real quick before I came on. I was getting stuff off charger and Hang on. Drop my watch. Want to make sure it's still charged. Oh, it's charged up. I'll put it back on. Anyway, had quite a lot of VTOL VR in today. The more I play it, the more I love it. I found a server that I'd hop in for a little bit, play for a little bit, and when I got, needed to take a break, I'd take a break. Server was still there, and it kept your where you were as far as, how many kill death ratio you had. And at one point I was up to over 40 kills. It was under 10 deaths, but up to over 40 kills. But that was a fun server. That was a lot of fun. I'll tell you what, if I'm around mountains, you don't stand a chance. I play cat and mouse up and down through the valleys and all that stuff. Makes it kind of hard to hit me. I'll pop up over a peak and take a pot shot at you and then dive back down. And as that missile's coming up and getting close to you, I'll pop back up closer and have a heat-seeking missile locked on you just in case that one misses. And then I'll launch a heat-seeking missile, which is quicker, and the ones that I use are maneuverable. So that'll usually get them. But a lot of fun. Whole lot of fun. Like I say, the more I play it, the more I enjoy it. Found my favorite plane, I believe, out of all of them. And that's going to be their F-45, which is essentially like an F-35. So as far as the game is concerned, yeah, even I've got the T-55 Tyro, I've got the E-24, which is kind of like an F-14. And they all have their strong points. But that F-45, again, kind of a close to an F-35. It's got anything you need. It's got jamming capability. It's fairly stealthy, and you can carry a ton of armaments on it. I mean, it's incredible. It's relatively fast, relatively agile. Yeah, it's my favorite. I think it's my favorite aircraft in the game. So anyway, I know you're not here for that. I don't have really anything special to talk about. Like I said, I've spent a lot of time in that today. Nothing special or in particular to talk about. But if this ordeal happens as far as the Strait of Hormuz, wow. That's going to put a hurting on us like you wouldn't believe. At least the prices of fuel and in turn prices of everything else are going to skyrocket if that happens. So, what do I think of the likelihood of that happening? I have to put that at a solid 50-50 right now. There's a good chance that that's going to be an eventuality. So, we'll see. Biden really needs this war, and the odd thing is I don't even see how it would benefit him. I don't, all the reasons why presidents want to be wartime presidents, I really don't see that putting him back in office. I think, in fact, it's going to cause more damage. So I don't know. But it seems like there's a lot of scrambling going on because, quite frankly, it's apparent that there is a lot of fear in the Democratic Party, if you will. I think most of them realize they're not going to make it. So, as far as elections are concerned. I think they're trying to put in as much as they can now and do it in ways that it can't be undone. You know, and that's including continuing on spying on us. You know, freaking crazy. Coffee's not crazy though, and it tastes really good. This is some perked coffee that I perked earlier. Man, it tastes so much better perked. Ah, it's heaven in comparison. Alright, I reckon I can do these articles I have open. I've got 7 open tonight. And then we'll do the headlines. Sure, all that stuff. That too. That too. Know about the broken gas main. Don't care. Hang on. I've got like tons of stuff that's popping in. That's weird. Bunch of people asking to join the group. Hang on. See if those are actually there or not. Hold on. Let's see. Fun times. Wow. See, sometimes they don't give me updates and tell me that people's trying to join. Hang on, let me get these knocked out. Always make sure that they're not hookers. I don't want hookers. Doesn't look like a hooker. Okay. Anyway. Alright. Yeah, I'm hesitant on hookers. That's, you know. I call all scammers hookers, so. Just sounds better. Alright, let me get back to the news. And coffee. Man, I'm telling you, best coffee ever. Well, it would be if there was Thomas coffee. So, second best coffee ever. Percolated 100% Colombian Folgers. Okay, Iran, we will close the Straits of Hormuz if Israel provokes us. As commander of the fleet of the Revolutionary Guards, Iran's ideological army, said today that the Israeli presence in the United Arab Emirates is viewed by Tehran as a threat, leaving open the possibility of closing the Straits of Hormuz if deemed necessary. Tehran has threatened retaliation for the strike on the consular section of the Iranian embassy in Damascus, which has been blamed on Israel. The April 1st attack killed 7 members of the Revolutionary Guards, including 2 high-ranking officers, adding fuel to the fire of confrontation between the 2 countries that had already escalated since the outbreak of war in the Gaza Strip. We do not leave unanswered the blows we receive, but we do not act hastily in our retaliation, Alireza Tangsiri was quoted as saying by Iran's ISNA news agency. We can close the Straits of Hormuz, but we don't. However, if the enemy comes to challenge us, we will review our policy, he underlined. About 1/5 of the world's oil consumption volume passes through the Strait of Hormuz every day. On average, 20.5 million barrels of crude oil and petroleum products passed through the Strait of Hormuz daily in January-September 2023, according to data analytics from Vortexa. The UAE is one of 3 Arab countries to normalize relations with Israel under the Abraham Accords, although Abu Dhabi also maintains diplomatic and trade relations with Iran. We know they did not bring us the Zionists to the UAE for economic purposes, but for security and defense issues. It is a threat to us, said the head of the fleet of Iran Revolutionary Guards. So, I know there's a lot of people wondering why Iran hadn't attacked. A lot of speculation going on. I think there's 2 parts to that answer. One being, they do want a measured strike. They do want something that they know is going to leave a mark. They don't want to be hasty about it. Number 2, they are celebrating or were celebrating Ramadan. And so that's a appointed time. And so that's the biggest reason why they wouldn't have struck during this time period was because of Ramadan. However, that ended today, I believe. So we'll see what happens. That's why there's been a little more tension over the last, for the next 24 to 48 hours. Because now Ramadan's over. Chances are higher that they'll strike. Lock the war with Hezbollah. Israel says store food and water. Targets inside Iran will be hit if Tehran attacks us. So pretty much laying it out that they will attack them within the borders of Iran. So, says Israel's Air Force is warming up its engines as it prepares for deep strikes inside Iranian territory. Should Iran launch a retaliatory strike against Israel in the coming days. After Hamas, Israel wants to exclude at least Hezbollah. That seems to be the main goal at the moment unless Iran strikes directly against Israeli targets, which would give it the pretext to attack its nuclear facilities. A senior Israeli officer has confirmed that the Israeli Air Force is preparing for a possible regional war and strike missions in Iran, Israeli media reported. The Israel Hayom newspaper revealed that the Israel military's assessment of Lebanon includes a ground invasion and a multi-front war. The Israeli military is preparing to intensify the battle against Hezbollah. A ground invasion of Lebanon in the event of a retaliatory attack by Iran is likely. Yonah Yahav, the mayor of the northwestern Israeli city of Haifa, called on residents to install landlines in their homes and to start stockpiling enough food, water, and medicine for at least 2 weeks in the event of a major war with Hezbollah. Cell phones, as he said, will not work. U.S. officials stressed to Israeli officials that according to new data, an Iranian attack on Israel will be likely carried out by proxy wars in the region, not by Iran directly. 2 people with knowledge of the information told CNN. U.S. sources told CNN that U.S. intelligence agencies believe Iran has urged several of its militia groups in Syria, Iraq, Lebanon, and Yemen to simultaneously launch a large-scale attack on Israel using drones and missiles. The attack could happen this week. The threat is very clear and credible, one of the sources said. They've got the pieces in place to run the offense now. They're just waiting for the right moment, added the same source. So, which would go along with what I was saying about waiting for the end of Ramadan. Coffee. Turkish media says Turkey will deploy the S-400 air defense system on the border with Iraq. Now, this has been a back and forth thing with the United States because, of course, the United States has threatened them 7 ways from Sunday over getting these air defense systems. The United States was trying to force them to buy the Patriot system. Says the Turkish armed forces are considering deploying S-400 anti-aircraft missile systems purchased from Russia along the border with Iraq. The development comes amid preparations for large-scale ground military operation against militants of the Kurdistan Workers' Party, which is banned in Turkey. The Turkey newspaper reports that the country plans to deploy the S-400 system, citing informed sources. Details of the possible deployment of the S-400s emerged amid reports that an agreement could be reached or had been reached with the Baghdad administration on the conduct of a Turkish military operation in northern Iraq. Sources of the publication claim that the process of deployment of the Turkish armed forces has already begun, and the deployment of S-400s on the border may become part of the measures to ensure security. It is also noted that Syrian opposition groups have expressed their readiness to support Turkish actions in Iraq. So, a lot of stuff getting ready to heat up over there, it looks like. Shifting gears a little bit to Ukraine. No more freebies. U.S. to sell Ukraine military equipment to modernize Hawk systems. So now we're not going to give them stuff. We're going to give them the money to buy the stuff that we give them. Yeah, like that. The U.S. has approved the sale of $138 million worth of military equipment to Ukraine to repair and modernize its Hawk missile systems, while a $60 billion aid package remains blocked in Congress. Ukraine's air defense systems date back to the Soviet era, but after Russia's invasion of the country in 2022, they were greatly improved with the support of Western, mainly American systems. Washington has offered Ukraine advanced air defense systems such as the Patriot and older generation Hawk systems. Ukraine has an immediate need to strengthen its defense capabilities against Russian missile strikes and the air capabilities of Russian forces, the U.S. federal agency responsible for the sale of U.S. military equipment to foreign countries said in a statement on Tuesday, U.S. Defense Security Cooperation Agency. The maintenance and modernization of the Hawk missile system will enhance Ukraine's ability to defend its people and protect its critical national infrastructure, the agency added, assuring that the sale will not materially change the military balance in the region. Ukraine has been asking its Western allies for months for more munitions and air defense system. Vladimir Zelensky warned on Sunday that his country will lose the war if a new U.S. aid package is not released as Russia steps up its pressure on eastern Ukraine. This new aid remains blocked in Congress until late 2023 due to disagreements between Democrats and Republicans. We're tired of footing the bill for Joe's war. Ukraine moves closer to drafting convicts. I mean, why not? Ukrainian parliament on Wednesday advanced a proposal to enable the mobilization of certain categories of convicted criminals. Those who join up may see their sentences reduced or commuted. You know, you get shot and killed, sentence served. With no votes against and 281 in favor, Proposal 11079 1 sailed through the Verkhovna Rada in the first reading, lawmaker Yaroslav Zelensky wrote on his Telegram channel. As written, the bill allows courts to grant conditional parole to inmates serving sentences at correctional facilities so they can enlist in the military. Persons convicted of rape, sexual assault, murder, or two or more persons, crimes against the national security of Ukraine, drunk driving that resulted in death of at least one person, corruption, terrorism, or financing of terrorism would not be eligible. However, Zelensky said that he expected the second version of the bill would expand eligibility to those convicted of corruption and more serious crimes, like, anybody. The bill would also add a provision to the criminal code that evasion of military service by those paroled would be punishable by 5 to 10 years in prison. Crazy. Okay, 2 more articles. I'm telling you, first thing I do, I get up and I start to get stuff ready to go in and play that. But I normally don't play it until late morning, 9, 10 o'clock is when I actually get started. But I'm really enjoying it. Okay, this is something that those that keep track of what's going on with drones has been watching. So they're really close, believe it or not, to banning DJI drones in the United States. Now, it's not because there's some type of a security threat. That's the excuse they're using. But it's predatory business like they've been doing for a long time. Somebody has certain members of our government convinced that A, DJI drones are a security threat, and that B, the United States has equal drones of just as good a quality and all that they have to offer. Well, the problem is that's not true. The drones that the United States makes suck. And I'm talking like the consumer drone, even the pro drone. They suck. They are extremely expensive. They don't do half of what the DJI drones can do. And again, they're twice as expensive. I mean, it's stupid high. And anyway, even them trying to put the US-made drones in combat, they're finding out quick that they're junk. They're just complete junk. Says here, small drones sent to Ukraine by U.S. manufacturers have largely proved ineffective on the battlefield due to Russian electronic countermeasures, according to the Wall Street Journal. The Ukraine conflict has seen the widespread use of small expandable unmanned aerial vehicles for reconnaissance as well as for dropping small explosives and serving as loitering munitions. U.S. products have proved unsatisfactory, however, forcing Kiev to rely on Chinese models instead, the Wall Street Journal reported on Tuesday. The general reputation for every class of U.S. drone in Ukraine is that they don't work as well as the other systems. Adam Bright, CEO of drone maker Skydio, told the newspaper. He admitted his own company's products are not a very successful platform on the front lines. Even some of the drones that the Pentagon has deemed fit for American soldiers have not fared well in the conflict, according to the report. The list of problematic weapons mentioned by the Wall Street Journal included AeroVironment, Switchblade 300 loitering munitions, Velos Rotors V3 helicopter drones, and UAVs made by Cyberlux. Ukrainian troops are burning through some 10,000 small drones a month, the report added. Many of them are off-the-shelf models produced by Chinese manufacturer DJI technology, or are assembled from Chinese components on Ukrainian soil. The Chinese firm, which had been banned from U.S. military use for supposedly posing a national security risk, told the newspaper that it absolutely deplores and condemns the use of its products to cause harm anywhere in the world. Many American commercial drones cost tens of thousands of dollars more per piece than their Chinese competitors, the Wall Street Journal noted. U.S. producers aiming to sell their UAVs to the Pentagon must meet its regulations, including restrictions on using Chinese parts and software updates. Russia has significantly increased domestic production of military drones amid the hostilities with Ukraine. Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu reported last November the country was supplying 16 times more drones compared to January 2023. So again, it's just all completely stupid. Coffee, couple of vapes. This is the last article I have open. Fecal-ridden river threatens Paris Olympics. Isn't that just a lovely headline? The swimming leg of the Olympic triathlon in Paris could be delayed or canceled if water quality does not improve in the Seine River, I think that's Seine River, which flows through the French capital, according to the organizers of the event. The river is set to host several Olympic events this summer, but has alarming bacteria levels, according to a warning issued by international NGO Surfrider Foundation Europe on Monday. The group claimed that out of 14 samples taken at the Alexander III Bridge over a 6-month period, all but one showed poor water quality. Tony Estenguet, a 3-time Olympic canoeing champion and the president of Paris 2024 Organizing Committee, admitted on Tuesday that E. coli is one of the bigger challenges facing the organizers, noting that the triathlon could be delayed or the swimming leg canceled if water quality worsens. In sport, there's always a risk, the Telegraph quoted Estenguet as saying. He stressed that there is only one location and no question of finding a backup venue. The main danger comes from heavy rainstorms when water pours into the Parisian sewage system, causing an overflow risk. Excess rains is then discharged into the river and may lead to pollution. Last summer, a sewage leak led to cancellation of a pre-Olympic swimming event. Measurements taken between September 2023 and March 2024 showed that levels of 2 bacteria, E. coli and Enterococci, were often 2 and sometimes 3 times higher than the maximum European permitted amounts, according to the Surfrider Foundation. Pollution levels remained high even after the Paris invested over €1 billion in a bid to provide safe swimming in the Seine for the first time in a century. So, who knows? Guess I'll have to cancel the water polo too. I'm kidding. Okay. It had been kind of a crappy rainy day. Moscow terror attack was severe blow for Russian Muslims, says Mufti. Zelensky pledges another counteroffensive. EU's Borrell warns of potential nuclear disaster in Russia. Godfather of AI warns of battle robots. Trump plan for Ukraine is primitive, says Zelensky. Well, yeah, but you're probably going to be dealing with it. U.S. drones faring... Oh, covered that. U.S. to ban Americans from using Russian antivirus software, says CNN. That would be Kaspersky. A Russian bank profits could beat 2023 records, says central bank. Brexit downgraded UK to middle power status, says ex-foreign secretary. Zelensky is Pinocchio, officer tells the New Yorker. Russian billionaires score partial victory on EU sanctions. Pentagon's Ukraine contract for Musk's Starlink expires, says Bloomberg. Manhunt underway in Moscow region to capture Crocus City Hall attack suspect. Washington's support for Israel threatens Palestinian Christians, the priest tells U.S. journalist Tucker Carlson. Ukraine moves closer to draft... Oh, covered that one. 2 Russian children killed in Ukrainian drone attack, says governor. Zelensky at the Delphi Economic Forum says, we will break Putin's backbone. He wants to exterminate us. Traction blunder in the U.S. Navy. Apparently the commander of the destroyer, Arleigh Burke, had the Trijicon diopter upside down in the pictures. So, I wonder what's up with that. Taiwan developed surface-to-surface cruise missiles for strikes on Chinese territory. Unprecedented U.S. statement. China will be responsible if Russia makes territorial gains in Ukraine. Like how that works? Acceleration of developments. Plan of Russian attack on Odessa. Moscow strike in Moldova and Gagauzia and Transnistria. Transnistria independence. German gallery fires employee for hanging up his own painting. Wasn't good enough, I guess. NATO nation to deploy modern Russian-made missiles, says media. China tells U.S. it won't be bullied on Russia. Congresswoman proposes exempting black people from taxes. Good luck with that. Ukrainian drones hit Russian Air Force training center in Voronezh. Italian Eurofighter intercepted a Russian Il-20 Kut aircraft over the Baltic. EU to probe Chinese wind turbine suppliers. Israel's fatal blow to the heart of Hamas, 3 dead, 3 children, and 3 grandchildren of its leader, Ismail Haniyeh. Zelensky says Stolz is afraid of Putin's nuclear threat and won't give us the Taurus missiles. Turkey's stop in Greece, no marine park in the Aegean. We will not accept fate accompli. Whatever the hell all that's about. Let's see. Macron to send Odessa the Napoleonic regiment. There we go. Napoleonic regiment that invaded Russia in 1812. Cossack says history will repeat itself. Iran strike on Israel imminent, says media. Jews who vote Democrat should have their head examined, says Trump. Russia warns Duolingo about gay propaganda. Russia issues arrest warrant for Norwegian politician turned Ukraine mercenary, A Russian Iskander downed 32 Ukrainian D-20 guns. Massacre in Chasov Yar, hundreds dead of Ukrainian 93rd Brigade and Azov forces, city burns. And lastly, Biden is very proud of expanding NATO to Russia's borders. Fun. Okay, folks, I am out of here. One more night this week. I am tired. Anyway, God willing, I will see you tomorrow. I appreciate you coming. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.